When I was a little girl, I had a very strict nursemaid, and she made me take a nap every afternoon. Even I think I was 12 years old, I was still lying down taking a nap. And in those days, I could hear out of the window. We had alleys in Chicago, and these men with horse-drawn carts yelling potatoes, tomatoes, in this very Italian accent. And that's how you bought your vegetables. And you'd go down and you'd squeeze every tomato. I don't squeeze. But there's something joyful about sequins dresses versus tomatoes. Figure that one out.
What do you mean?
Well, they're both delicious. I prefer the tomato. My name's Betty Halbreich. I'm 85 years old. I came here in 1947. Hold your hat. I got married in 1947. Everyone says to me, nobody got married in 1947. Right after World War II, no less. I've been in this same chair for 37 years. When I came here, there was no really basic personal shopping. And I guess I got all dressed up, came for my interview, and the edict came down as, oh, we really like having you here, Betty. It's really very important. Well, what are we going to do with you? I'm sure people are very intimidated, walking into a store like this for the first time, that many people do. They say, oh my God in heaven, what am I doing here? And I'm going to that woman who's been doing it for, I hear she's a bitch, she's got a sharp tongue, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you that the dress is no good. And very often I do a terrible thing. I pull it off before they even see themselves in it. And they say to me, why? And I say to me, trust me, it's dreadful. Dreadful. There's a fine line between being direct and the other. Morning, Mira. I don't know what I went to college for. I mean, it didn't teach me this. But I always made my mind up that if I had to do this, I'd do it with some sort of dignity and not overwhelm those I was waiting on. Because that's basically what I do. You know, people say to me, oh, well, you know, we see you and you do this and you do that. Basically, I'm a clerk. But I try to make it a very homey sort of an atmosphere, which leads to comfort, whether you buy or not. Listen, I strike out a lot, but I don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the game. Sometimes when things get very, very rough in here, which they occasionally and most often do, I can get up out of my chair, turn to my window. There's a whole world outside. Because this is very insular in here, you do realize. When you work with clothing all day long, with beautiful clothes in a beautiful store with beautiful people, it's very insular. You know, you get behind a door, just two people. It's like going to therapy. You're a captive audience. I pride myself on one thing, and that's being a good listener. Because I'm really interested in people. Can you imagine how many different bodies and figures and headsets have passed through my life? And how many problems some of these people have? So you have to understand that it's not only selling. You've got to give something back to these people, hopefully. There has to be more components to life than just coming to work, making your figures, which incidentally, I never know if I've made them or not. But I can tell you the time without a watch. I can tell you how much we've done during the day. You have to know something about it, right? So I compensate. I compensate for a lot of things. I don't dance. I don't hear music. I love art. I love books. And I love farm stands.